there's something deeper. What I'm hearing you say is there's a deeper, you want to use social science to help students think a little bit beyond um, programming. Maybe you want people to understand, like, how is it that I can live well, play my role in society well. Like, how have you been able to help students figure this out?
Um, I think two things. One is I'm naturally not like because I'm not like a history buff or
Yep.
I wouldn't consider myself like naturally like a super high horsepower brain person. I don't have interest in this stuff, so I have to figure out what's interesting about it for me.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
as I go through that process of like, why I have to teach the War of 1812. It's like, who cares about the War of 1812? Okay, I don't care about it now. At 41 years old, so a 16-year-old definitely doesn't care about it. I got to find something that's really valuable about that. So I look into it, and then once I find it, then I just share that pathway with them. And what I find interesting are the useful lessons. It's not about
Mm,
who flanked who and who's the general. It's about like what is the meta pattern of these events. And
meta
then
pattern.
yes, that's all. That gets to the name of my platform. But it's getting to the crux of this, and then I just use this as an example to teach that. I think that's a big part of it. Is like the direct application in everything that I'm doing, always to the content that I'm teaching.
It's fascinating. Can you talk more about meta pattern? What is a meta pattern?
Yeah, so we know what like a pattern is, some sort of repeating sequence or something along those lines.
Okay. Yep.
A meta pattern would be how a whole bunch of patterns come together to one bigger pattern. So there could be a pattern in like a conch shell, like the Fibonacci sequence, right?
Yep.
But that same pattern is found in the galaxies. It's
Yeah.
found in hurricanes. It's found
Yep.
all over the world. And I've heard it being called like God's signature. That's like an
It's also
example.
found at the interesting. It's found at the top of a baby's head.
Yep.
It's the same. It's so
All over.
fascinating, right? Yeah.
Right? So the meta pattern is this is going on. This looks like a pattern, but then you zoom out and it's actually going
Yeah.
like this up and down. And then you zoom out even more, and then it's the same thing over and over again. It's the way it just kind of expands out. So for a history class, for example, if you don't just study a war or all the wars, but if you understand conflict,
Ooh.
then you can understand conflict between a husband and wife, between siblings, between two people who just had a fender bender, and global war. You can understand Ukraine and Russia and the Middle East because there are these underlying things that are universal in all of those conflicts. So I teach that, and then
Wow.
they don't need to learn everything else. They can fill in the blanks because they have the structure of that meta pattern, and then they can fill in the blanks for themselves. So it's not about memorization. It's about understanding the structure of reality.
Oh, amazing. See, you're speaking my language now. We could talk
Yeah.
about this all day.